Hi. This is a good morning, Saturday, May 23rd, and I visit with Bridget and this beautiful video we're starting. And I've dedicated all these stories to the little family, the Father, Son, the Holy Spirit, Amen. And blessed Jesus, Mary, and Joseph with the work that I'm doing on this and my history of my life. So thrilling to revisit all the stories that are just popping out of my mind, and I can't type fast enough, and it's so enjoyable. So anyway, I ask their blessings and the Holy Spirit to guide us, guide me with them and Bridget, and this we say always in Jesus' name, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Amen. Well, this is a event in my life that just happened the other day. It was 3 in the morning, and how I know is that I look over at the clock and it says 3 o'clock, and I go in the middle bedroom, and I have two places that I visit in the middle of the night. The middle bedroom, the guest bedroom, and the third bedroom is where all my scrapbooks and a big desk and just writings there. But this is in the middle bedroom. And I had my book, and I was sitting in my favorite chair, and it's a reupholstered chair of my mother that I got. And it's just, she was tiny, and I'm not so tiny, but short. Maybe we should say short. And the chair fits me great, but I always have some kind of a pillow. And I think my mother could have had hers too. So there I am, and for some reason, I put my book down, and I'm looking over at the shelves, and I'm looking at the top shelf, and I'm going, I don't even know what those books are. So I started, you have to get a ladder. So go out in the hallway, get the little 3-step ladder, bring it in, and step on the ladder, and there I'm really barely able to pick out the books, but I took out 3 at first. And here is a sample of 2 of them, right here. And for some reason, I opened this one first. And I want you to know the name of the book, Catechism of Christian Doctrine, number 4. Literally, I'm going to show you what happened to me. I opened the book, and there is Ursuline Academy, Angela McCaffrey, 1955. And then I put it aside, and I couldn't help but see my father's scrapbook. He signed it the first 6 weeks, and said how it goes. And he said, proudly, James H. McCaffrey. So, but I had to call and say, what? There's another one. Report card, Angela McCaffrey, 1957, 58. So that was, 55, we're missing 56. And I think 56 is in my scrapbook, the Ursuline thing. Anyway, 57, 58. And Daddy again signed the first semester, but not proudly. He took his signature. And then the next one was 1957, 58. So that was a junior year, and this is my senior year. Guess what? No signature, but my mom's in the middle of the year. Then on this right side, you could barely see in my mother's handwriting, which was absolutely flowingly beautiful and gorgeous, she puts Francis Wilson, 9th grade. Francis Wilson, Ursuline Academy. I'm just like, right now, you don't understand. I'm just saying, how am I getting my mother's freshman at Ursuline Academy religious book? This is her study book. And you'll see it just flows. But there's some jokes inside here with my mother, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. I posted up, and I'm saying, why did my mother literally take all my report cards? Of course, she tried to take all of them, but she couldn't find that one that was sophomore year. And Bridget, she's hiding it in her book for me to discover someday. And I'll tell you what, on all those I noticed, besides the grades, I noticed the first freshman year, I was absent 5 days the year and 6 tardies. And by junior year, I was absent 11 days and 3 tardies. And then my senior year, I was absent 5.5 days, and there was nothing mentioned about tardy then at that time. 2 observations make me think of I was still sick with asthma. Those kind of things, that's a lot of absence of each year. And the other thing is the tardy business. I want you to know, nothing in our senior year, just 3 in my junior, but my freshman year, is that we walked to Ursuline Academy from our new house on Gooding Drive. And Ursula was with us at that time. Ursula would have been a junior, and we're freshmen. It's a little over a mile. So we didn't know how to measure the time of leaving the house and going, okay? But that's a lot of tardies. And of course, is anybody asking us why we're tardy? Could I go to the principal and say, we're walking over a mile every day and walking home? Could you, see why we have this? Could give us a, anyway, nothing, no communication at all. They just said, these McCaffrey girls, well, they're always late. I don't like that reputation. Getting back into this, I have to tell you, it's not something I'm proud of, okay? When you open it up, and Dad, I'm seeing my dad when he said proudly for my first 6 weeks, I got a C in religion, I got a D in English, I got a C in Algebra 1, I got a B in civics, I got a C in Latin, and I got a C in physical education. That's really strange. And I got satisfactory in music. Okay? No sickness that first 6 weeks and only 1 tardy. It was later on I got sick. Anyway, I thought, well, Daddy liked my grade. He liked that. But I'm not going to tell you the rest of the grades right now, because I want you personally to come to me and let me talk about this. But I will say this, that Daddy didn't sign, Mother signed the rest of the year, and I think Mother didn't. This is another thing I think my mother did. She didn't want Daddy to see that I got an F in religion on my final exam. That's Catholic faith, you guys, if you don't know it. Really? Me? Getting an F? Oh my gosh, that's terrible. But I got a B plus in civics, and I got a B in Latin. So, a B in physical education. So, kind of rounds it out. But anyway, well, real quickly, further on, I even got an A in civics on my last exam. An A. I never got an A. That's awesome. That's when you use the word awesome. Awesome. Anyway, it rounded out, and I'll say this, all right, because this looks better than the others. I rounded out at the final average is C in religion, C in English, C in algebra 1, B plus in civics, C in Latin, satisfactory. I don't like this. C and then, you know what? It's erased. Somebody erased it because they would put something there, but now it's a C. Oh, and 5 days absent. 6 days target. Okay. I just want you to know, and then my junior year, it's not looking good. It's not looking very good. But oh, that was awful when I had 11 days I was sick. Okay. So that happens. And then my senior year, let's see. Oh, Daddy. Oh, Daddy had a heart attack. No wonder I wasn't doing good the second semester of my junior year because Daddy had a heart attack that time. And I was responsible for helping the kids get to school, dinner, any ironing or any uniforms or anything and that mother didn't come home for about a week. I was doing that besides taking care of my studies. So that's probably why I have that. That is not, that's kind of the worst one. My senior year, better. I got better. I like this. I like to brag about this. I got another A in the fourth quarter in religion. So I'm kind of proud of that. And I got an A in speech. Golly, this is incredible. Here I said I never had A's. There's proof. I will prove it. So those were very good. But my mother hid them in her book. You can see it's just really, worn down. But I had to say, oh, this is what she did. She put Francis Wilson. Oh, you know how they write that? How did they do it in her day? Because you couldn't see whose book it is, but she made sure that everybody saw it there. So that was cool. And I wanted to see if I could. I should have marked it, Bridget, because it's too funny. It gives you the personality of my mother. And well, guys, I can't read her writing. It's something was in here. You have a minute. That's what I want you to do. I should have done this already because she marked it, and her remark was incredible. And she has check marks that she's been reading this and studying it. Okay. One deal she put. One deal right here. She put end. I don't know why, but she put end of the exam or something like that. But it was too. Maybe I'll come back to this, okay? Because it's taking probably too much time. But I wish I could. I'm so sorry that I didn't. In fact, I said it in the middle of the night. I better mark those pages. Mother did a remark. Just one more time. Just one more time. But this is my mother's freshman at Ursuline Academy. And this is a cute little religion book. This is unbelievable. And no, I haven't read the whole thing. No, I just glanced at it. Here's another one. She put end. But one comment was so funny because there was a question that they asked, and she put down, I think she said, really? She put it down, really? And I went, Mom, you were a character. So blessings to me that my mother didn't want anybody to see my report cards. That has to be it, because they're not the best grades, okay? beginning my situation in which I really was never talked to about my my mind. Never talked about my illness. Nobody ever mentioned, you know, you can't do this. Oh, they never said that any word about that, you know. And Daddy would always, he did just say this, Angela, you need to be very proud of yourself because you have common sense. And he always repeat that over my years. Never Eileen, just me. And I would grow up common sense. And I never looked it up. So I've got common sense. And I would go around and say, I've got common sense. And I didn't really understand it. But it's a part of your intelligence. I knew that. So I've got intelligence of common sense. And so growing up, even as an adult, I would say, why is it that somebody doesn't understand that? And I would say, well, I think this is what it means. And they would say, yes. And they would comment. That's how I kind of knew what comment. I lived it. I grew up with it. But the other thing is you have to know when we get Daddy's signature in the living room, we line up like marching soldiers with our report card in hand. He's got the pen. And we go up the oldest to the youngest. So here, Ursula would be first because at that time she was a junior and we were freshmen. Ursula would, you know, she would sign it. Sometimes he would look at, you know, he looked at every one of them and say something, but he never said why he put proudly. He never said it. He just did it and closed it and you keep on studying, keep on doing your work. And, but it was cute to go back and look at the kids lined up down to the first grader and they all had their little report. Daddy, I mean, it's just, where's the camera when you really want it? Just see that, okay? Okay, that's those stories for that. But I invite every one of you all to come to me, and I'll have my mother's first 9th grade religion instruction book from Marie Academy with my report cards in it to talk to you about that. Show you. The other thing is I came across this book. Okay? And I opened it, and here is an imprimatur of this book saying it's sanctioned by the Catholic doctrines of the Catholic Church, and it has. Are you ready for this? December 28, 1926, and I'm looking at this, and it's kind of old looking. Guiding principles, and it's, oh my goodness, it's inside there. So I think it's incredible. Holy Cross Retreat from something, Morello Park, New Mexico. Anyway, here, that was on the front cover. Then here it is, my signature, and who wrote Eileen and Bridget Notzon. There it is, and let me tell you what the name of the book is. Mental Prayer, Challenge to the Lay Apostle. So that Bridget, and who's handwriting that, Bridget will have to tell me, okay, whether it was hers or Eileen's. I know it's mine, Angela McCaffrey. Can you see that? Huh? Down? Okay. Okay. Well, I'll let you know.
That's my handwriting.
It is, Bridget.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. And you put your sister first. Yeah, that looks like you. The bridge, how you wrote that, Bridget. Yeah. Yeah. Bridget, I'll be darned. I don't know if you opened it up or anything, but there it is. And there is all these, it's dated by dates. And I looked, I did look up my birthday and I went, there's nothing, there's no middle prayer on 3/3, March 3rd. But anyway, that could be Lent or something, But here it is. Oh! This is in the middle. And this is an old antique picture of the Blessed Mother. And there's nothing written on the back. And it is as new and beautiful as when I got it. There it is, right in here. So I want you to know. Now I have to tell you that Eileen and I were, and because of this, everybody in this you joined the Soda List Club. Not everybody joins the Soda List Club. It's the followers of the Blessed Mother. You have special prayers and special things that you do in your Soda List Club. And there's a president, and all of us in our club. Eileen and I were Soda List, and we had got how many masses in a week, and how many prayers you do. What do? You have a little teeny card, and I wish we could send and mark off how many prayers, or did you do night prayers, did you say anything? Now I have to tell you something. We would be separated from the book and the card. So here we are going to the club meeting. I think it's once a week, and right before the meeting start, we would check what we did. Well, how many? Left some spaces empty, but mostly Eileen and I went to 7 o'clock mass every morning. That's what Daddy started us at, and we did that and came home and ate breakfast 7:30, and then of course look how tardy we would walk to Ursula. But that's not a problem. But all these morning prayers, night prayers, some I just checked and some we didn't. Confession. Well, I would put a check mark once a month on that one. But some lady girls were trying to get every going to convention every day. Come on, when they saw that's not real. So at least be a little honest. Okay, is what I'm saying. So I have to tell you about this happening. And I don't know, I think it was my sophomore year that we went to a swimming, not a swimming party. We went to the Dallas Country Club. I don't know if I told you this, and we're, and I think it was our Soda List Club, and we had our dates. And it was ended, it started kind of like in the spring, towards the end of the year. So we had our formals on. And the Dallas Country Club is the elite country club of Dallas. And it's funny that I can remember Father Wilson of St. Monica. Oh, that's right. It was St. Monica's. It wasn't Ursuline. It was St. Monica's. I don't know. But maybe he was our moderator or something. Well, I got a speeding ticket about a week before that dance. And I need to pay that ticket because my great uncle, Judge Frank O'Brien, was the judge of that court, and I certainly did not want to go to hell in person. So if you pay it, you pay it, and you're done. He will never even see McCaffrey. You will never even see them. So that was my goal. I've got to get $20. So, okay. So, a whole bunch of us were behind the diving boards, and I'm trying to make this short. There were 3 Chucks: Chuck Hansen, Chuck Sladak, and Charlie McLean. He was Charlie. Three of those, and 2. For some reason, we were just looking at the high diving board, and someone said, I dare anybody to go off the high diving board. And I thought, I just turned to him and I said, I think it was Chuck Hansen. I said, Chuck, how much would you pay for somebody to go off the high diving board? He looked at his hand. He said, I got $10. And I said, Chuck Sladak, how much would you pay if somebody wanted to do that? And he said, oh, hey, I've got 10 also. And I took it from their hands. And they said, what are you doing? I said, just watch. I put both of them in my hand and rolled it up in my hand. Took off my sandal silver heels, and I started walking up the high diving board. And I just went off and I dove in the water. And I am at the bottom of the pool, and all I know is my dress was down to my waist, so I had to pull that up and then swim to the side. And as I'm getting out on the ladder, there's Father Wilson, and he says, "Get out of that pool and don't walk to your car, run to your car." And I kind of was looking down so he wouldn't know who I am. Of course, he can't know because my hair is just all wet. And so I just started walking, and no clapping, it was like silence. And so the guys walked behind me, and I don't know who my date was at this point. I don't know where Eileen was. Eileen's there. I don't know where she is. But we all, in fact, all of us kind of closed down the club. I think that's my end of my act that did that. And we were, and I walked to the car, and they started following me. And so one of my friends, Sheila Madigan, her house is just around the corner from Dallas Country Club. So Sheila said, "Well, come on to my house and let's get you out of your formal. And I'll put some shorts or something on you." So I did that. And Mrs. Madigan opens the door, and she sees me dripping wet with my hair. And she's like, she can't even talk. And she just says, "Mom, never mind." And I went upstairs, Sheila went, and Eileen went with me. And there's the three of us. And the guys stayed in the living room. And I got on my dress in the bathroom, and Sheila gave me shorts and a shirt. And Sheila says, "Well, what do you want to do in the farm?" I said, "I'll pick it up sometime. Don't worry. Just hold it up, let it dry. I'm not taking it home right now, Sheila." So I went down the stairs, and Mrs. Madigan is the one finally said, "Didn't you ruin your dress?" And I went, "Don't worry about me." Like, I could have said I drowned, I almost did. No, it's the dress that counts. And I said, "Mrs. Madigan, it's okay. The dress, it got clean or something." I said something, Anyway, I didn't want to stay in the Madigan's house. Oh my God, Mr. Madigan, I didn't want him to find out. She was going to sure tell her mother that I dove off the high diving board. I'm sure she's going to tell her that. But I want to get out of there. So we get out of there and we drive home. I go in the house with shorts and a t-shirt, and Eileen's in a formal, and no one was there. The front door. You see, we didn't have locks. You don't have locks. You can't give 10 to 12 or 15 kids locks or keys. So you just walk in the house. There's no problem. But anyway, walked up the stairs, and that's when Eileen was furious. She says, "How could you have done this?" I said, "Eileen, in case you didn't know it, I didn't share with you, but I got a speeding ticket, and I need to pay $20, and I got to get it to the court system. Uncle Frank's the judge. Don't you see my predicament?" She says, "You should have done it. You should have gone to him and said you're innocent or whatever." I said, "No, Eileen. No, I didn't want Daddy to know that I have a speeding ticket." So she went to bed. What do you think happened about our membership of Sodality? They kicked Eileen out, and they kicked me out. You are no longer a member of our club. And we got it written in Sister's handwriting. We came home, and Eileen's crying. I'm not crying. I'm not crying. Okay? But I went to the sister the next day, and the one in charge, a moderate, I guess, of our club, and said, Sister Eileen had nothing to do with what my actions caused this. You do not pick her. You do not cut her off. She says, was she there at the club? I said, yes, somewhere. She was not around when I did what I did. Of course, they already got the message, okay, somehow. I hope that country club didn't call or anything. I hope that wasn't the way they got it. And she says, if she was there, she should have stopped you, and she's responsible. I said, no, I'll argue with that. No, she's not responsible. That's unjust. She is the holy one. She is the good person here. No? And so I came home and talked to Eileen that night. I said, Eileen, I tried to defend you. She says, no, Angela, if they don't want you, I don't want to be along either. So she stuck up for me. I thought that was, that's called sisterly love. But I just want you to know that to get this book, mental prayer, and all these thoughts came, and to see my two daughters, which Bridget signed, maybe Eileen signed her own name because it is different than their handwriting. Yeah. So
that's my writing. I think Eileen's name.
Eileen, okay. So
yeah,
anyway,
Eileen had a pretty handwriting. She's very pretty handwriting.
But anyway, there it is. Now, I came across a Jane Eyre book.
Oh yeah.
And this is your book, and it is. Oh my God! It even has a Lucky Book Club, something stuck with there, the back page. Anyway, it's just. I think it's missing the first few, and it is missing the first few pages, Bridget. But it starts off with explaining Charlotte Chronic. See? Oh, you want to know the date of the book? Oh, it says 1960. How can it be 1960, Bridge? I was married in 1960. Anyway, that's what that is. The other thing I wanted to tell you, when I talked about my first grade, second time, there I am. Okay, I don't want. There's the window. The window. Okay, there it is. There I am, and then I didn't realize, but it was the 8th grade girls. See, they were all in their formal long dresses. That's probably why I got a long dress. Okay, and crowning the Blessed Mother. And it wasn't the guys. The guys were over, in the back, and they put the Blessed Mother statue way up in the front, away from her altar. Okay, I love this. I love this picture of Sacred Heart is right there looking at us. But there is now a story I want you to know that I called my sister Ursula, and I don't know. I had a feeling my dress was light blue, but I didn't know anything more about my dress. But she says, "Oh, I know it. You got a long, beautiful, light blue dress." I said, "Really?" I said, "What grade were you in, Ursula?" She says, "I think I was in 4th grade, because you were in 1st grade twice." So that bumps me up to another higher grade. And I said, and then Skippy was in the church. He said, yes, Skippy was, if I was in 4th, Skippy would be on 6th grade. And there's nobody else. Joanne's already in high school, okay? So I said, you know what? Skippy didn't say anything to me. Eileen didn't say anything to me. And you didn't say anything to me about me crowning the Blessed Mother. I mean, didn't you think that was unusual? That your little sister in front of the whole school, 300 and something students? Well, we kind of thought it was unusual. Said, Ursula, anyway, I told her the story about and I have that documented on another story. about the 8th grade boys playing baseball, softball before school, and I got to know their names, and I got to run the bases, and they included me in this softball. And the 8th grade voted on who to crown the Blessed Mother. Well, the guys outnumbered the girls, I guess, but I got the most votes, and that's why I got to crown Blessed Virgin Mary. But I have to tell you something. What happened from this is Ursula's book. There's Ursula in her first communion. Remember going overtime, Bridge? Ursula got her first communion picture. I want you to know, I don't have a first communion picture. And there's a picture of Eileen in her first communion. So what is it that something happened. So I know I was in first grade, but since I was so ill with bronchial asthma, I didn't complete first grade, and I think they pulled me out. And my first grade class would have made their first communion in 1946. Okay, we were all 6 years old. So when I went back to first grade again with Eileen, 1947, Eileen made her first communion. There's a first communion picture, but I'm not in it. And so I think what happened is I didn't make my first communion, and then the second time I'm in first grade is the teacher thought I made my first communion because I was in first grade last year. I don't know, but I picked up the phone and I called Holy Trinity and I called Sacred Heart Cathedral where I was baptized. I was the last not McCaffrey to be baptized there, and then we moved to Holy Trinity when I was 1 year old. So I got a call back from the Sacred Heart Cathedral, Modesta, and a very fine lady, and she said, Angela, I have your baptism, but I don't have your first communion. Well, I said, I don't think you would have it. Well, it's interesting that you say that because I have your marriage certificate. I said, what? You have my baptism, no first communion, and no confirmation, and then you have this. She said, yeah, because you're, I mean, it's just something that came in the mail and we documented. So she's doing research. So, and she said, don't worry about Holy Trinity. I have them and I'm including them on finding out your first communion and your confirmation. I said, well, I'll already tell you my confirmation was in May 1954. I was in the 8th grade. I already know that month and that year. So, but you please. So she's doing this. So we're finding out if I ever made my first communion. But what I did, I just went to communion. I just did it. I didn't think, because everyone expected me. I mean, this is the most incredible story ever. That I got through the cracks somewhere, and then I have to tell you something. When you see this, you have to have an understanding. There's a story behind the story. I think the Blessed Mother helped me get the crowning of her because I didn't get my first communion, and she was blessing me. I mean, this is miraculous here. This is not, I mean, I've got chills thinking about it, but she honored me that way. So we'll find out the end of the story on this, because I would say that all the first graders were wearing their first communion dresses, and I don't have a first communion dress. So I got this new dress. So nothing was said, anyway, we'll find out about that. So, is this not all because I woke up at 3 in the morning and I'm investigating the books? And by the way, I'm investigating some more books. This is already I'm going to be very careful, Bridget, of that. And I have another couple of books, Bridget, for you. And something, each time I said, oh my God, there's Mark's law book. It says Notzon. And inside is M-A-N. Well, there's only one M-A-N, Mark Anthony Notzon. One of his law books. I came across another book, and I talked to Robert about that. He says, Mom, I'd love to have those books. So, okay, so I'm now piling it up and everything. I found it cost, there is more. I want everybody to take a visit in the middle bedroom and look at these fabulous books and look at the titles and look at the ages of them and everything. So that's our day of this discovery. And I'm blessed. I'm truly blessed. Thank you.